The quality of your life is going to be determined by the quality of your content. Wow.
Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm Chantel, and if you're new here, I want to welcome you. I make videos for entrepreneurs who understand that they are created for more, to be more, to have more, and to become all that God has created you to be. So let's dive into what Myron says is the blueprint for building a multi-million-dollar business.
Okay, but how do you get to $10,000 a month in revenue? Okay, so should I start with that? Okay. So create a $100 offer. Create an offer that makes you $100. Okay? Make 100 sales per month. Now, 100 sales sounds like a lot, right? It's only 3.3 sales a day. 3.3 sales per day at $100 is $10,000 a month.
One of the biggest questions that many people have is, what can I sell for $100 that people will actually buy? Anything of value can be sold for $100. For example, a membership. You can have a community where people pay every single month $100, where they're getting accountability and some form of coaching or cheat sheets or access to courses. Those things can be sold for a $100 package as a membership. You can also sell a very valuable course for just $100. Let's say that you typically would sell this course for $997, $1,000. Well, try selling that as your $100 offer. And I believe that you don't want to overlook this part, because this is the foundation for how you'll begin to scale into those high ticket offers. I saw recently that Oprah was offering a community where people just got access to exclusive content. And in fact, her membership was only $15 a year. And you may wonder, how is that even profitable for her? Again, she knows the power of marketing and owning your own data. That's a whole nother lesson for a different video. But the point is that memberships, even though they are low ticket offers, they can still have dividends of value, because you are collecting people's information and you're building your own community where people, if they decide to stick with you or leave, you always have their data because of their initial joining of your membership. So yes, you may give the kitchen sink away in terms of the content and the value that you provide for such a little price. But remember, this small amount is the building blocks for a multi-million-dollar business. And if Oprah can sell her community for $15 a year, you most certainly can sell yours for $97 or $100 a month. And I know you're excited right now. You're like, okay, I can do this. I can get an offer and make it something great and valuable and then sell it for $100 a month. But Chantel, where do I get the people? Well, let's hear what Myron has to say.
Maybe you buy some ads and or you promote it organically on TikTok and Instagram, and you generate, 10 leads a day. If you generate 10 leads a day, that's 300 leads a month, right? And if 30% of those leads buy your offer, you're making $10,000 a month. Okay, so number one problem I see in lead generation is too many people who are attempting to generate leads are attempting to move people towards pleasure instead of moving them away from pain. You're saying 7 steps to 7 figures. 7 steps to 7 figures is a terrible headline for lead generation. But the 7 biggest mistakes entrepreneurs are making that keep them from 7 figures, that's easier to believe. Just create content that moves people away from pain, and more people will give you their details.
Oh, this is good. So this is about your marketing language, making sure that you create headlines, create titles for your thumbnails, create your hooks for your videos that allow people to move away from pain and into pleasure. Because Myron says that no one will trust you because you are new to them. They won't automatically trust that you can lead them toward a desirable future, but everyone who needs help will gladly accept the help from someone who can move them from a painful situation. Think about it. If you're drowning in the water and there's a homeless person who you would have previously maybe looked at like, oh, I don't want him to touch me, I don't want to even breathe their same air, but you're drowning and they see you, you don't care what they smell like, you don't care what they sound like, you don't care about anything, their appearance or nothing. You're like, please help me from this water. And that's exactly how people operate online. They don't care what you look like or what you sound like. They just say that if you can solve their problem, then they will receive help from you. Of course, not everyone who sees your lead magnet is going to want to say, oh yeah, I want to opt in to get the help that you are saying that you can give to me. No, but if you put your content out there enough to a number of people over time, there will be enough of the 8 billion people in the world who say, yes, that's a pain point that I have, and I believe that she or he can lead me out of my pain and give me this promising future. So what's some of that marketing language that will allow people to see you as their solution? Well, Myron gave one example: the biggest mistakes blank blank are making. Another one is, this is why you keep getting stuck in blank blank blank, or the fear of blank is causing you blank. These are all registering with people's emotions. And remember, people don't buy because of how many steps in the process there are or how many hours they're going to spend with you. People buy because they are emotionally driven. People buy because they want to buy, not because of all the features that you're promising that they'll get.
If you care enough about people and you pay attention, they will tell you everything you need to know in order for them to buy.
So don't just watch this content and get caught up in the information, because I know it's good information. I want you to move from information to implementation. So take this opportunity to think about your lead magnet. What is that thing that you're going to put out in the stratosphere, in the internet, for you to start collecting those 100 leads a month? Because remember, the goal is to get 100 leads a month opted into that lead magnet so that you can convert those into sales and get to that $10,000 a month mark. So in order for you to find a lead magnet that people actually want to give you their information for, my recommendation is to go into your favorite YouTube video and look at the comments. What questions are people asking? What questions are going unanswered by that content creator that you can step in and create a lead magnet for? Because if you share a similar audience to your favorite creator and you put out a lead magnet that solves the problem that many people have and answers the questions that many people are asking, then congratulations, you just found a lead magnet that will be popular, that people will subscribe to because it solves a real problem. So now once those folks have opted into your free stuff, let's talk about how they can now become your customers.
The value of your offer is not the pieces. What do you mean the pieces? Well, we've got, in this coaching program, we've got 75 videos, we got 65 audios, we got 13 workbooks, and you're talking about, and nobody wants that. It's not the process. Nope. You're showing people the process in your presentation. It's costing you sales. Well, we have this Slack channel, and here's how you use it. And then you can have these huddles, and then you can message, blah, blah, blah. And then, in addition to the Slack channels, we also have these Trello boards. Look at all these Trello boards we have. And the spreadsheet, and then you start going into all the process. When you show people the process, all you're telling them is, this is hard. The value of your offer is not your person. What does that mean? Well, you get an hour of my time every week, an hour of coaching with me. I am essential to you getting the things you desire in life. So you have to have an hour with me. And then you got 50 people who have an hour with you every week, and you're like, oh, I hate this so much. I'm making so much more money than I've ever made in my life, and I hate it.
I don't know about you, but that excited me. It is so exciting to know that when I'm speaking to someone, when you are on a sales call, you don't have to be so hung-go on all of the features of your product. No, the value of your offer is not in all of those bells and whistles. It's not in the pieces, it's not in the process, and it's not in you as a person. So some of you may need to go to your website right now and shave off some of those things that you have that are just busyness, busy talk, that's keeping you from connecting with real people. The best strategy to implement this and identify the things that are interfering with your value proposition is this. Am I talking more about things that seem like work than I am talking about things that feel like hope? Let me peel that back a little bit more. The things that feel like work are, you're going to meet every week. We're going to talk about this and we're going to talk about that, and you'll have to do this, and here's a template for that. That feels like work. Is it beneficial? Absolutely. But to a person looking, they're like, I don't have time for this. Oh, this is not the right time in my life. Oh, I'm going to have to shave off my time with my children in order to attend this session and to meet this deadline. That is actually what they'll end up getting, obviously, because you do have a program. But don't let that be the dominant conversation that you're having with people, especially not on a sales call, okay? Maybe hide those things inside of, the agreement or, in that final email after you have converted that person, because of course you want to be upfront that there is a commitment, but all of those details that prevent them, their emotions, right? Their emotions, because people are emotional when they buy, it prevents their emotion from making the decision because their head is too busy trying to figure out how they're going to make all of this work. Remember, don't focus on the pieces, don't focus on the process, and don't focus on you as a person. You want to build a business that you love, a business that serves you and your family in the best way, not a business that at the soonest exit, you're looking to quit it. So let's hear more about where the true value in your offer lies.
The value of your offer is the payoff. What do they get when they say yes that they don't have if they say no? What will they be able to do when they say yes that they can't do if they say no? Who will they get to become if they say yes that they can't become if they say no? That's the only value your offer has.
So now that we know where the true value in our offer lies, it's time to raise those prices. Remember, this is the $1 million roadmap that Myron is laying down, and he gave you the first foundation, which is a free offer for people to opt in, and then we get those 100 leads a month. We convert them to our $100 product, and then from there, we're comfortable. We're making $10,000 a month, but it does not end there. We now have to convert those same people and more to get to that next level of income. And that only comes from having a premium value offer, also known as a PVO.
If you don't have a premium value offer solution for your clients, you are forcing your best clients who love you already. You are forcing your best clients to spend most of their money with somebody other than you.
Ouch, right? Listen, you've got to have a premium value offer, like Myron said, because that's what's going to help keep people in your community and in your ecosystem. And that's only to the degree in which you're confident that you can serve them on a higher level, because some people aren't there yet, and that's okay. I remember having a $97 product, and I wasn't confident that I could actually turn that product into a 4 or 5 figure offer until I got enough testimonials and proof that what I did and what I had actually worked. So don't be, all caught up if you're not at the point where you can charge $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, or even beyond for a product. Let's take baby steps, right? Until we reach the level where we can charge that amount. I was personally so nervous when I went from charging $3,000 for a product and offering my first $20,000 product. I was like shaking in my boots because I didn't know, number one, if there was a market for it. I knew that I could deliver at that level because I had proof at the lower levels, but I was nervous. I'm like, is there a market for it? Will people even buy it? And what took me from that doubt and that scarcity mindset to actually not only charging that amount, but delivering the value that was at that level was simply making the offer. Myron always says that an offer you don't make is an offer that they can't take, and that still proves itself true today. And speaking of Myron, one thing that I love about him is that he's very transparent with his numbers. He doesn't just say that he's made all of his money from one source. No, there's a combination of things, and YouTube is one of the ways that he's gotten paid. So let's dive into one of the ways that he considers even beginners, you have this at your advantage, because everyone can do this one thing, and that's create content so that you can be on your way to your multi-million-dollar journey.
God created the contents of the world by using the content of his word. Think about that. God created the contents, the trees and the sun, the moon, the grass. He created the contents, the mountains. He created the contents of the world with the content of his word. That's mind-blowing. And we're made in the image of God. I really believe that you will create the contents of your experiential world God created the contents of the existential world. We will create the content of our experiential world with the content that we create. Isn't that mind-blowing? That the quality of your life is going to be determined by the quality of your content. Wow.
So you heard it. Listen, this is the roadmap to get to multi-million dollars in your business. It is about your offers, it's about your sales, and it's about creating content that people can like you, know you, and trust you enough to want to do business with you. And if you need more strategies on how to show up confidently, watch the next video on Myron Golden's content blueprint because it's coming up right now.